Would you like to be somebody who understands why people tend not to have genuine good intentions nowadays? Then listen to this entire video where I explain how people are deeply insecure, and because of that they are not able to admit that they are wrong about something, and therefore you can't really have constructive discussions with people whereby people concede and you progress in an argument and try to find a collective solution that works for everybody, and that doesn't really happen. So before we get into this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Let's get into it. So I have observed people for quite a while now, especially in debates and discussions on the problems we face in society, like when we discuss these problems. What I've noticed is that people don't seem to have pure, genuine intentions, good intentions, to find a solution that is viable for all participants. They don't enter the discussion with the mindset of wanting to debate constructively so the outcome will effectively solve the problem at hand. Oh no. People enter discussions with the mindset of, I want to win the discussion and lacerate your arguments. If the outcome of the discussion is perfectly aligned with my belief system, then it's a good solution. But if the direction of the discussion turns against my belief, then I will shut the discussion down and no solution shall be found. That's sort of what goes on in their mind, or at least unconsciously, I think. People argue and defend their beliefs to prop up their ego and maintain a stable belief system in their mind. Because, you need to understand, any evidence that your belief system is faulty would unleash some kind of chaos, because that means you don't understand the world properly, and the world is thus chaotic and unpredictable, and that's very uncomfortable, and people want to avoid that. They might deep down have the desire to find a genuine solution that helps people, but this genuine solution is actually blocked. So the key question is, why are genuine intentions, or the manifestation of them, why are they absent? I would say there are several issues at hand. Firstly, if somebody has genuine good intentions to find effective solutions in society, they would need to be willing to concede that their previous assumptions or beliefs or arguments had perhaps been false. Like, when you get into a deeper discussion, you might come to find that someone's opinion is suboptimal because maybe there's some evidence that clearly collides with their belief and hence refutes their argument. Thus, that person would need to accept that they were wrong, and then you could redesign your map of reality, incorporate the mistake, or incorporate the awareness of the mistake, and then try and fix it. And that makes your map of life and reality more sophisticated. But people are not willing to do that. You need to understand, you cannot find the proper solutions in life without being able to admit that some ways of life are better. You need to admit that some ways of life are better than others. And the likelihood that someone has suboptimal opinions of how to live life, that is very high. And together we need to find out what is optimal, let's say more optimal, and what is suboptimal. And then we just need to agree and accept that, we need to agree and accept if our perspectives are wrong. And the likelihood that we have false assumptions and beliefs in life are extremely high. It's actually quite dangerous to be rigid and incapable of conceding and admitting you're wrong, because you're preventing a society from progressing, let alone your own life from progressing. But let's take it further. Why do people struggle in the first place with conceding? I think the root problem is that people suffer from an unstable sense of self-worth. People derive their self-worth frequently from material possessions and the opinions of others. Hence, they are, of course, afraid of being judged as immature, stupid, and uneducated if they were to openly admit that they were wrong about something, because then people might think, this person has no idea, they're uneducated, they're just unsophisticated, they're not switched on, they're stupid. And these traits, like being uneducated, are stamped off as weak and of low value. Hence, people don't want to be associated with those traits, because that would mean their entire existence would be of a low value because they derive their self-value from these opinions of other people. If people, however, found a different source from which their sense of self-worth stemmed from, then they would care less what people think. They would be willing to admit that they were perhaps wrong about something, because internally they still know they remain a valuable human being who is worth the love of others. And so few people, especially adolescents, have that ability nowadays. They don't have a solid foundation to stand on in life, hence they existentially wobble when somebody just pokes them slightly. And because of that, any opinion from somebody else that might indicate they think this person is of a low value, whatever that would mean, people are terrified of that and want to avoid that at all costs, and that trumps the genuine intention to find a good solution. Hence they come into this gridlock, or not a gridlock, but their genuine intentions are blocked by their ego, because their ego is more important to them than actually finding the good intentions. You would need to subordinate your ego in order to transcend, let's say, the opinions of others, and actually have the freedom to face the truth of the problems society faces, and then be able to actually have the opportunity to solve the problems and find good solutions and have genuine good intentions. But a lot of people don't have that. So people they scramble to defend their egos, and arrogance is like a defense mechanism. If people have big egos and are arrogant, they are trying to shield a wound within them, an internal security. So that's what's blocking and clouding the genuine intentions within people. Because I think people do are, well, I wouldn't say entirely good-hearted, but they have the real, like, immense potential to do good and be genuine. But it is just jeopardized by their egos, because the people have such a unstable sense of self-worth, hence they need that ego to protect themselves. So I will discuss in the next video what foundation could give humans the deepest sense of self-worth in life, what that is, and what would be the solution to helping people transcend their egos and subordinate their egos in order to let's say decloud themselves and actually be able to manifest their genuine good intentions. So please leave a comment below, or let's quickly summarize the video. In conclusion, people don't really have good intentions, to find solutions that are viable for everybody, because it would mean they would regularly or sometimes need to admit that they were wrong about something in order to progress and actually find a good solution for people. But people aren't willing to do that because that would mean because they are afraid of being judged as uneducated and incompetent. And that really hits people, because they have an unstable sense of self-worth, and they derive their self-worth from other people. And then if people think they are low in value, that's horrifying for people. They don't want, it's so uncomfortable to feel like you're worthless. That's mortifying. That's mortifying for people, really. So please leave a comment below whether you think there are any other reasons why people don't really have or don't manifest genuine good intentions in their behavior and when discussing and in debates, for example. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Thank you for listening.